Want ons is nie van ons onwees nie, want ook nie van ons was nie. Sy genade het ons gedra, ons is geroep vir 'n tyd soos die.
Goeienaand, welkom weer nog 'n aand van Dorings. Die weer het bygewoon het voels gister wat ek nog met Ronaldo gesit het. Maar vanaand sit ek hier met 'n groot vriend van my. Maar voor ek by hom gaan kom homself voor te stel is belangrik om net weer dankie te sê. Dankie vir julle ondersteuning en dankie vir al die bydrae tot tussendoor tot op hede. Baie dankie ook vir julle wat hierdie inisiatief van Girls in Leadership ondersteun waar hulle dogtertjies, minderbevoorrede dogtertjies op Rossend wil met 'n pakkie. So as jy nog nie jou ondersteuning gegee het vir dit nie, of as jy nie weet van dit nie, moenie skoon kontak te maak met ons nie. Maar op by noot, I'm going to leave to Mteto here just to introduce himself. But first of all, welcome my friend and thank you for availing yourself.
Thank you, man.
Yes,
Aaron?
it's Youth Month, but we'll get to that.
Yes, Aaron.
A lot of people might know you,
Yes.
but for those that don't know you, just quickly, who are you?
I like the pronunciation, man. First of all, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity. Thanks to everyone that are watching Dorings. My name is Mteto, Tshunungwa, but I have a middle name also,
Peter Pan.
Peter. And you can be surprised that middle name, my paternal grandfather fought for it to be the middle name because he wanted me to carry on with the legacy. I was born and bred in Guguletu, in a hospital called St. Monica's, 19-. Yeah. And then we moved, my mom and I moved here when I was 3 years old. Then I grew up here. I went primary school, teaching Tshunungwa, up to standard 2 back in the days.
Yeah. We get now to where you went to school. Because there is a question when it comes to about your primary and your high school. So you moved from Kole to
Zoletemba. And yeah, I grew up in Zoletemba most of my years. And I'm a father of 5, 3 girls, 2 boys, married 2015. And I'm working at VCC as a school caretaker.
We will get to that. So you are a year now, you're 3-2. So you have 3 girls and 2 boys.
Yeah.
And a married man.
Yeah, married man.
Okay, so now a lot of people got an understanding because I was under the impression you were from Zoletemba all these years. Now I know you are a refugee. So, in a nutshell,
Yes.
tell us quickly about your primary
Yes.
and your primary school days, in your high school days. Just a bit of somebody. You start off earlier on it, but let's just continue quickly on the PG, PG corner.
PJP corner.
PJP.
Yes,
There we go.
corner.
PJP corner. Let's it there and then to go to high school. Just about to go to and then we'll take it from.
But 1989 started PJP corner. There was sub A's back in the days, sub A's and sub B, and we used to have sub A1 junior, and today it's grade R.
Okay.
But back in the days it was sub A junior and sub A senior.
Okay.
Then you would move now to another grade, to sub B.
Okay, so the grade R of today was sub A junior.
Junior.
Okay, now I know.
Yeah. Then moved on until grade standard 2 back in the days. You were helping with this.
No, it's fine. We
Now,
speak the way you speak.
Yeah,
You
sub
spoke
A.
of the standard two. Keep the grade, keep the grade.
I'm the old man. Then and my I grew up with my grandmother, paternal grandmother. And then she decided to take me outside the chamber. Then I went to open school in 1994.
Okay.
By the way, I love Afrikaans. I'm a self-real Afrikaans.
Okay. No, you can mix it in between.
Yeah, because I also like you guys to help me to learn Afrikaans. Because I just love the language. So unfortunately, I spent 1 year there because I struggled a little bit because I was raw coming from a closer school.
Okay.
Then it was post 94.
Okay.
Then and my grandmother decided no, to move me to an English school. Then I went to Worcester Primary School. And Worcester Primary was very nice for me, but I was still a child.
Yes.
Then I was experiencing something new out there. Because remember, I was coming from teaching Corona.
Yes.
Then I was experiencing something new. I was so excited also
Yes.
to be like I was so about met my eienaars.
Yes, nou dit is verskillende. Rainbow Nation.
Verskillende nasie, daar. So, and it was very exciting. At some point, we also got out because at that time, corporal punishment was still allowable, but it was not in the hand. I remember
And the food news.
yeah, ons work was Mandir Gerbe. I hope he's not watching. Because yeah, he used to give us record hiding.
You say it wasn't on the end.
And I thought was in the food news. You also decide where it was.
Okay.
So yeah, it kept us grounded. We were so grounded at some point because as a child we were so excited that we go astray. And it kept us grounded. And at some point we were friends like Carl Blaza or Milan Balas, they're successful business guys today. Then we went to grade that was standard 5, that is grade 7.
Mm.
The challenge there was a challenge there that came because some of us were registered because back in the days, the school, primary school was registering you to your next high school.
Okay.
And then your parents just come and sign the things. So in the assessment of our performance during the year and the years combined, it qualified us to go to the Grende because we were seeing that we were not coping because of our excitement. And at some point, if a child struggles, they were taken to a technical school. And the technical school that
Was
was
the
there,
Grendel.
it was the Grendel. So for the guys that were on point, they were taken to Worcester Gymnasium.
And the guys that struggled went to the Grendel.
Yeah, they went to the Grendel.
I'm very young, so I don't know the Grendel.
The Grendel is a technical school in Monty, in Cape Town.
Okay.
What to call this? But it's in Cape Town.
Okay.
Then in Milnerton.
All right.
Yeah, in Milnerton Road. And it's next to me.
Oh, I thought it was here in Worcester.
No, it's
Okay.
outside Worcester. So for us, we had a stigma. There was a stigma geweest. As jy nog gevat na as jy geneem na technical school, then there was a stigma that jy vir dom kom. Yeah. So there was a groot skaam geweest om if they were taking you to that school.
It's tough.
We were so shy, and as young boys growing up, everything you're doing for girls. Playing rugby, we're playing for girls. Playing cricket, we played because I was also active in the school. I was active in rugby and I was active in cricket, and I was excelling in those sports because back in the days I was playing for Noordpola.
Okay.
Then now we went to this school. And ons was so lustig geweest om nou my bus te klim.
So basically after, just to get something like after Worcester, your primary school,
Yes.
you went to the Grendel.
Never.
Okay.
Listen to this story, right? Never. Because, I went there with the mindset that when I come back from that orientation, because we were taken to an orientation,
In Cape Town.
this is the school that you're going to And I even told my parents that I'm going to an orientation. And I went like as if I'm going to school, knowing that I'm going to Cape Town because we were told the previous day. And we were given letters to take to give to the parents. And I signed it myself, like in a consent letter, because it was a good
Kids
stuff.
told you that this is all next.
Then went there, we saw guys doing panel beatings, we saw guys, and we also give stigma to them as if they were not makers. Then immediately when I came back from that bus, I was studying so hard that I have a gymnasium picture in my mind, and then I passed with C.
Okay.
And then I went to go register myself in gymnasium. That is when I went to gymnasium. High school, I went to gymnasium, and I played rugby, and I played cricket. And I came from from Team D to play for Team A.
Wow.
Yeah, and I remember a crucial match that was at Field, Team Poland Lando, and I scored a winning try.
Wow.
And I went in as a sub because we're playing inter schools in
Okay.
Stellenbosch. And then then and then life was good. High school life was very good, and I changed schools, and I went to because I was not coping. Was I led Firewerk. Gymnasium and Firewerk. Gymnasium and Firewerk. So I changed schools because I was not coping.
Okay.
And I went to the Cecile. That is where I completed my high school.
Okay.
Yes.
I could see when you started off, you went to register yourself by Mr. Gymnasium, and then very excited. I saw the excitement in your face, and then now the ending you say, I didn't feel it there, and then buy a bear. But either or, I can see you enjoyed your high school life.
Yeah.
Now, take us on through quickly you've done now with uh, now. I always say to people who come to this question,
Yes.
your life after school, the way me and you are sitting now here tonight. In a nutshell, you can summarize it, you can share with us what you want to share. How was it in the highs, in the lows?
Kijk, Aaron, ek is gebore in outside wedlock. So ouma het gevat die responsibilities van altyd met ons. Then ek het besef later that there were things that I didn't get. So there were challenges and I could not speak to somebody because Oma also was out geweest. So I ended up getting wrong influence from the States because I'm not getting. So some of the things you would say after high school, but some of these things began at high school.
In high school.
Because I remember selling my talks, my rugby talks, in exchange of mandrakes while I was in high school. Then it started, if I can take you back to down the memory lane, it started with 2 cigarettes. Because there was this void I wanted to fill in. Because there was this open void so the streets are friendly. And then the 2 cigarettes came to be my pals. And then I started there and I graduated from cigarettes and I went to Daha. And I graduated from Daha. I went to Manvex back in the days before we got crystal meth now. Then life went on and I got out of school. And when I got out of school, as close as we go to initiation school. Yeah, and so, I won't hide this to our viewers. Sometimes people they are taken to initiation school thinking that they will initiate the mind to become a man. And then that was the aim also because of the things that I was doing now. Then when I came back, because of that, I didn't have a vision. I went on and then I graduated from Netflix because now I was so hooked in drugs now. And I went on to become an alcoholic. Then without a vision, I didn't have a vision, just got work. I remember getting a work, getting employment from GRW Engineering. And I was working in GRW Engineering as an assistant boiler maker. Around here, bro. Ons het hy tafel gaan lunch voorgemaak, breed gemaak.
Ja.
When payday comes, because I had a lot of friends at the time I was working. ons het daai tafel brein gaan. Omdat I didn't have a vision. Sometimes I wouldn't even forgot to give money to my parents for food because I'm making food the whole month from my grandmother's house to take home to work. But now, after when I get my salary, I'm not even giving it 10% to my grandmother to buy more food so that it can sustain us. So the money that I get, and sometimes when that money is finished, we talk to influence each other to go to loans or loan sharks so that we can maintain the standard. Yeah, because because we have the standard to maintain because from the township, and we have this trend that I'm an outie, and it would slap, I must look nice, and I also smell nice, and I must also when I go to lounge, I must make a statement. Then actually I was living a lie. Then as life went on, I moved to Cape Town because it was bad. It was the time that I was fired because ek baie uitgebly van die werk. Maandag kom, ek is nie met die werk omdat ek is babalaas. So the company decided on for me let los. Then I remember it was October. Yeah? We're going to December. Now December outings. Hulle gaan nie daar wees nie van my. And I always altyd maak 'n voorbeeld, né? With that kind of life. When you have a car, when you are climbing, when you have your friends in the car on your way to Dorings, né? Anyone. As daai car stukken raak, né? Daai chommies, hulle klim net uit. Ja, maar dis nou deputy die hele lyn, né? Nou met die hele lyn, nou, hulle klim net uit. Hulle help nie vir jou nou in daai kar om reg te maak. Hulle gaan net bietjie voor. Hulle is daarvoor, hulle hide for the next car. Yeah, that's the same thing that happens. The time that you are working, you will have many friends. But the time things are not going well for you. Let's never. Then I said, no man, it's fine, it's okay. And then that's what na toe gaan ek kaart toe na my uncle toe. Dan soek ek weer daar. Dan kry ek nie werk nie, en dan bly ek daar by my uncle se chomie in Tshunungwa. That is where another habit, I picked up another habit. I picked up a habit of crystal meth, commonly known as stuck in the Western Cape. But daai dag wat ek nou daai begin het, is the day that I was so drunk. That thing, Aaron, that thing can make you are so drunk. But the one hit, they call it a hit. It makes you like sober. Yeah. That time I had that first experience, it led to another experience and another experience and another experience. So until addiction, you're hooked now. Then you are hooked. 3 sessions of that, you are hooked. 3 sessions of that, you are hooked. So I became a para of the moon.
A para for the people that don't know what's a para.
A para. When I came here to because that time that trend was already there.
Yeah.
Because
I know what a para is, but I don't think everybody there knows what's a para.
the name Aaron, the abbreviation para comes from paranoia.
Okay.
When it's a stimulant drug, it makes you to be paranoid. There was this one time I had like about 500 of worth of stuff. Then I knew that I had an outstanding case with the police. So as I was smoking, I just was so paranoid that I would see blow luggage. There's no blow luggage, but I would see blow luggage. Then, so I'm trying to make a point with you that it's a paranoia drug.
Okay.
It makes you to be paranoid. You would see things sometimes.
So in the location, when people say you are para, they say a para is someone that he smokes and he takes.
Yeah.
That's a para. It's a thief as well.
Yeah, the name, the abbreviation now was transformed to another, it expanded.
Yes.
It expanded that now it takes everyone that smokes and steals
And
and robs.
So everybody's under the same roof.
Yeah, of
Solely para.
Yeah, Scully, everyone. It's under that roof, but the abbreviation para comes from paranoia.
Okay. Now we have it.
Yeah.
Much also here.
So the viewers can hear that it comes from paranoia. So I became just hooked, and I started robbing now. I started stealing because at some point you would find it's so expensive to smoke drugs. Because drugs are expensive to maintain the habit. So at some point, if you heard of some people, most of the people they were fired from work. People that are using drugs, you cannot stay long at work using work. So at some point, you will steal also from work because you want to maintain. Sometimes they can play fun there because of you just had too many. Because first of all, it keeps you awake. I would go awake for 4 nights without sleeping. 4 nights without sleeping. 4 nights without sleeping. So when that sleep comes, that is really you don't want to do anything. You just want to eat and sleep, eat and sleep, eat. And it also has this withdrawal anger because there's withdrawal symptoms. When it withdraws from your body, it makes this aggressiveness and anger that you have. So as you know, you will not slap, you will not eat and slap. Maybe most of some of the viewers can relate to what I'm saying because their sons and brothers that are using this, and also it makes you that aggressiveness.
Yes.
It puts everyone at risk and danger because you don't know what you can do. But about that, I became a real para now because I'm robbing people at night. And I'm wearing balaclavas at night because I'm a well-known face.
So your father wearing paragraph.
It's because of I'm a well-known.
So now you don't want people to
Because I'm a well-known.
recognize. I hear you.
I'm a well-known character.
Yes.
Because I was a well-known character in the news.
And now you boost as well.
I'm hope now I'm not pimping myself because there was a time, but I know that he's gone.
And that life is
He's gone.
Yeah.
God has forgiven that life.
yes.
So there was a time I had to move back home now. Then I did something to one of the guys there.
Inside.
Yeah, that I said him also. Then I had to knock him and I had to come back home. And then when I came back home, it's when now, after 4 years, I've left Zolleting back and Worcester. I had to come back because I saw also my life was in danger. So I had to move back to Zolleting. Unknowing that my life or this habit is going to deteriorate. En het erger geweest, erger geraakt on that, I stole from my grandmother's house. I stole from my other grandmother's house. And they were unsafe in my houses because at some point I became so aggressive that their children all felt like now they had to do something on the Mteto, and they've taken me to court for protection order for their parents. And there was like in and out police was also, I remember around this time, I don't know whether you saw my post the other time, it was in Detective Mkatali.
Yes, yes.
He came and looked for me in my presence. He came and looked for me, to me. And I remember asking, did you guys see Mteto? And no, we didn't see him today.
You say
I said that to him, we didn't see him today. And as much as I stole, I was so afraid to go to prison because I knew if I went to prison, my habit would just not stop. Then life went on that I was served with two protection orders from both families, and I didn't have a roof now to sleep under, and it led me to sleep under bridges. It led me to sleep on very post. Then if maybe I remember at your time also when you were in the bush, I was a kanki there, I was a kankata there, because I would just see the opportunity for if there's if there's a season for Abakweta, I would go also there just to have a duck and a food because as countries we get food
Yes.
so that we was on sparse of not initiate.
Yes.
So I would check such opportunities like that, and then and I remember the drum, they call it waste, ne? Yeah. In Panorama, I think it's on Wednesdays. In Zoletemba on Thursdays. So I would cut the Panorama ones because I would know that the Panorama ones you would get food around, you would get some clothing. So you know, it was this one thing because it was a habit. On Thursday, we used to wake up, me and my friends, because we are friends now, and we used to wake up and go to Panorama. Ons beeder, mense kan beeder, drome kan krap. Ons krap drome vir kos. En ek het net oor as drome gekrap vir kos. En dan as ek net ietsie kry en dan gaan eet ek, as hy die maag vol is, dan gaan ek weer hy maag leeg maak met rook. So ja, toe eendag, you know, it's a surprise that I will never forget. There was this big house. I just stood when I was busy with my business of crafting drama, and I just really was not even interested. I saw this big house, and I got out of my body, and I got into another world with my imagination. I saw myself in this big house with my children, with my wife. I didn't even have a wife. I didn't have a girlfriend at that time.
You just visualize this.
I didn't have a child. I didn't even. Ek het nie eers gedroom ek gaan 'n kind kry nie. Of then I was like, yes, me. I could see myself in this open plan kitchen with my wife playing with my wife and the kids are playing. Then something in me starts says, you are not what you are. The devil putting all this imagination to you, all these thoughts that, oh man, there's nothing good about you. You won't be something. And there was this voice that spoke to me and said, you are not. You are my child. You are my child. Then after that, you know, I went home. Home was onder die brug. Daar is wel 'n timber. Then I just said to this time with myself and thought, where did this voice came from? You remember when God spoke to Samuel, when Samuel was staying at Eli's house, and he spoke that very same voice, God spoke to me that voice, and I said, man, I'm not this person that I'm. Wat het met my geword?
Yeah.
Wat het met
Die
dit was
jong
nie
man,
storie.
die jongen wat hard gewerkt heeft, to go to destination.
Wat het met my geword?
But before you go to that transformation
Yeah.
in your life, there's a time I can remember when you were running with myself and Victor. You shared a story with us about your addiction and the things that you start stealing and stuff, and the community into the thing.
I will never forget that. I don't, you know,
Because when I see you, and I see your life now, and what you told me that time we were running, and I said, God is good.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we want to see God must send his son Jesus again here to live as a human between us, to see miracles and wonders. But he used you, he used me, he used whoever,
yes,
as because as I told you, whatever happened, the test becomes the testimony. So what? Explain to me that situation. So that the community know that they what happened.
I think I know, man. I don't know. You know, you remind me of a favor of God that happened to my life. And how can I forget the favor of in this interview? You know, it's very important what happened to me on that day. Because if the Lord was not on my side, the devil would have swallowed me long time. Because on that fateful day, I went with this guy. We went to go purchase our fix. Then it's deep in Mandela Square where the Sutus, because there's a section of the Sutus there. Then we went there, and the guy, I didn't even say the man, it's a more sister than the. So we purchased our stuff. Fortunately, the staff was within me. Because I always did that. I would always make sure that the staff is with me. Because most of them, they always lose the stuff
Okay.
through police. Maybe the police are standing somewhere and search them. I will never allow when I want to lose tech when it's in my position. Then, immediately after the purchase, he noticed the people that he did wrong yesterday. And then it was spot. Nou, so say no spot. Jy wil nog spot, want jy weet, is geskrik, jy wil, maar het ek laat gespat. Die mense wat my gekry. Jare Aaron, daar was 'n knopjie die kant. Soos ek nou, die mense nou verduidelik, want hulle praat die taal wat ek nie ken nie, want dit is Sotho taal. Soos ek wil vir hulle verduidelik, dat is ek nie. En dan, daar kom nog 'n ander knopjie aan die ander kant. Soos ek nou ryk, want jy weet, die hele liggaam was warm, né? So, ja, so jy gaan nie voel nie. Maar ryk ek is ryk na parafien. Ek is, nee man, dit is nat. Sê kan, man, toe praat hulle nie, toe stry hulle saam met een mekaar. Dat ons nie vir hom hierso brand nie, want ons is nou, as ons nou daar by, daai deel van hulle, ons is naby die bos. So toe sê die mense, nee, ons gaan nie nou wag nie, ons moet hom nou vir hom, nou die anders, nee, die is tussen die mense.
Ek is net so goed.
Ja, dit is net so goed. Ek is ook nou so hard gestaan. So, you know, en dat is so in my tyd. Split seconds in my tyd. I'm not going to do now. And fortunately for me, and most of the people, they're at work. Yeah, I don't, if all of those guys were there at that time, yeah, I would have been in my grave, stinking in my grave. The favor of God gave me wisdom because I would feel this guy that is holding me that, yeah man, I guess not so hard fucking me, man. Yeah? Have you ever seen somebody that is holding you? He thought he was still holding you, but now he's holding your t-shirt. Ek net myself uitgerecognize him. And then Usain Bolt wouldn't make it for me. You know, Usain Bolt wouldn't make it at that time. That 9 point, what record that he broke. Yeah. You know, daai polisiestasie van Zonneteenbaai was altyd gesoek in hy polisiestasie. Jouself gevra. Ek het myself gevra in hy polisiestasie. En ek het gevoel man, en my kop was so hard geslaan dat ek voel die mense, hulle sien. Toe gooi ek myself in hy bank van die polisiestasie. Nee man, jy sê nee man, hulle kon nog steeds. Ek gaan net maar ek in alle deur, die deur aan, alle deur uit. Gaan ek met die mense se huis, met die relatives se huis, en dan sê, weet jy daar, buitekant agter, myself uitgesnoer, praat van die mense net dat t-shirt. Maar, you know, you reminded me of a favor of God because for me now to be here was not supposed to be here. So it was the favor of God while I said that. And you know, that favor has given labor to many things that I have meant to do for the chamber, for Worcester as a community, because you know the Lord didn't want me to die that day. When I was supposed to die that day. But the great lesson that I want to give for anyone that is watching, you know, in this life of Stoke, you always, you know, there's a peer pressure and teenagers and all this. Sometimes in this line of duty, we die for our friends' sins. We die for our friends' sins most of the time. If you see this 1989, 2000, whatever died in the street, sometimes it's never them, it was their friend that did it. And then they died by the mob because they just wanted to kill somebody that did the para. So also in my case, I was with him and they thought, no, it was also, we don't want to hear anything from him. So the lesson is, you know, you came out alone from your mother's womb. Whatever that you do, you do it alone, not with somebody, because you do it. So, and also don't compare yourself with somebody else. So after that, I've learned a lesson. Want ek het aangegaan, het mense se huise ingebreek. But I did it alone. Ek gaan net when I like this They would have seen that they come and I like to say, okay, as if I'm a poorest, I can say, Aram funny, Aram say, but here, full of thousands and was, I stole a laptop, maybe I stole a plasma TV, I would steal it from here and then sold it to the other side because I don't want, because also even in this life, they are working for detectives as well. So, on says, in my car, yeah, so yeah, man, you've reminded me there because yo, I would have not been here now.
Yeah. But God has been good, eh?
Yeah.
And He has a purpose. I mean, you just have said you've stayed. I mean, just imagine staying under bridge. Um, if I run in the mornings and I see people, you just mentioned that. I mean, looking at you now, I mean, if people still can see that there is a God,
Ah, Lord.
just looking at you.
Ah, Lord.
Now, on that note, my friend, no man is an island.
Yes.
So there must be someone that was your man, that was in your soul, as you just said, in your moments that you did wrong, even in school, that you looked up to, that was molding you.
Yes.
Because I always say to one of my friends, we used to call him Ben Mare. Now, Ben Mare was this guy when I was getting my pistol, would come and have this motivation talking to us.
Yes.
And then, you know, with the guys at the back, I was one of those guys at the back. And, I'm gonna do all that. Now, Ben Mare, he said stuff then, but what Ben Mare said then is now in my life.
Yes.
I'm applying it,
Yes.
but it's left in my subconscious.
Yes.
So, who was that person that was talking to you constantly? Hey, that's what's those people?
Yes. It's a little funny. You know, this saying that it takes a village to raise a child. But with the spirit of my late grandmother, you know, she was the one that I looked up to. You know, she was the one that said many things. She played a role of being a father and being a mother to me. You know, then when these times came, when these times came, she prayed for me. She prayed for my well-being. Even when the time that I was served with protection order, she still prayed for me. She still gave me food, even if I'm not supposed to trespass. And to her, yeah, she still. Then I would like to take you a minute to the turning point before I will go to the main topic. The turning point went when I was arrested for housebreaking, and fortunately, I was not taken to the holding cells. But there was a time that I was taken to the holding cells, and there was the motivation that I got from station captain of Zoletem of Africa. It was Steve Stephens, and he came to the holding cells and he spoke some sense into me that you're not what you think the way treating yourself or what you think you are. You are not a scholar. I can see through you. There's somebody through you. And you remember when the Lord spoke to me as well.
Yes.
And he also spoke that. And he also gave me support after that because I was released on the third day. Then, but it won't sink. I'm still going to go on with my habits. Then I was arrested now for house burglary and I was taken to Zwela Chamber police station. Then my mother was caught, my mother, my paternal mother. Then she was not working far from the Zwela Chamber police. She was working as a teacher at Saponega. And then she immediately came, they told her that I've done this and this. The police also said, Mommy, we don't want to arrest this guy. We can see that there's a potential in this guy. And we found all the items. So we don't see that we can take him to the holding cell. And also, the owner of these items is satisfied that his items, they are all there. And when they give me an opportunity, man, how can you get help? And that is when I decided, I said, I have a problem. And I declared that I have a problem. Then it's a turning point when you, as you know, let's say,
Yeah.
And I said, no, ik praat, jy het 'n probleem. Then I said, I had a problem and I want to be taken to the rehab. That is when my mommy and I remember that day my mommy cried and she cried and she cried. First time I saw my mom cry was we were not most of the time together. And it broke my heart and they've taken, it was strange. My sister that was supposed to go to university, the money that she was supposed to go and enroll herself is the money that was paid to Tufla to get my habit, to clean my habit, to clean myself. And that was another form of motivation. And it came from my stepdad. So my stepdad is also my second hero, apart from my grandma. I will count because I said to you, it takes a village to raise a child. My stepdad is my hero because he was also there helping my mother because it was the time that I had to give them problems, but I was baie gedeeldig with me. And you know, big up to stepdads that are there playing roles to the kids. I'm also today a stepdad that I love. By the way, I've mentioned 5 kids, 3 girls, one boy. Logically, this boy is my firstborn child, but is my wife's son. Yes. I adopted him as my own son. Then, because it comes from my stepdad, he gave his last cent 15K to play two flip to get my addiction, to clean my addiction. So I was in a program for 5 weeks at two flip. The other arrow, and I played, it was so mad, so mad. But when I came out of that place, I was a big guy. Then I felt more in love with this new man that I've seen. Then there was this one day I used to stay at Auntie Peggy's house.
Mhm.
Yeah, because when I came out, I got mentorship at my Auntie Peggy.
Okay.
Because she was working with my paternal granny as a nurse. Then they she took me in after, and then I stayed with her. I got warm bath, something that I'm not used to. I got my own room with a TV. She gave me the best hospitality. There was this one day, coming to your question now, there was this one day I was sitting there, I love sport. For me, DSTV, you cannot pay, you can pay Super Sport 1 to Super Sport 7. It's me. So then, what, as I was sitting there, it was on Sunday. I remember I just stood up. When I stood up, I just, as if I was hypnotized, and I woke up in a church. Then it was Living Waters Church under Pastor Dr. Moses, and she gave me mentorship further on, and most of the mentorship I got from her. And after then, I never looked back when I got born again, and I was a born again Christian, and I never looked back.
Yeah, that is amazing. And just look at you today.
Yes.
A message for you today before we finish. Any message that you have to our youth or anyone that is in the same position today as Mteto. I mean, you also, I mean, looking at you, if I look at you, I can't say you were staying on the street, eating out of a pan. Yeah. All these things you just mentioned. There might be someone by accident going to see this. A message for those people watching.
For the youth that you are watching, have a vision. There's a scripture in the Bible. It's in the book of Proverbs. It says, where there's no vision, people are perishing. And then in another version, it says, where there's no vision, people are finding themselves dying. So have a vision, put that vision together, and stop at nothing to achieve that vision. Don't let anything interfere in that vision that you have. And also ask for wisdom to the Lord because He's Alpha, He's Omega, He's the beginning, He's the end. We cannot do anything without the Lord. With those two, And because He will also give you wisdom, you acquire wisdom from the Lord. With those two, you will never go wrong. Stop at nothing to achieve what you want to achieve. I thank you.
Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you, man. May the good Lord keep blessing you. Yes. And be a blessing for others. Yes. Thank you. Baie dankie weer eens dat julle ingeskakel het vanaand. Ons sien mekaar volgende week. Selfde tyd, selfde tyd. God bless.